You ever wonder why some women keep showing up in your life? Lingering just a bit too long in the conversation, laughing a little too easily at your jokes? You probably thought, she's just friendly. But here's the truth. Attraction isn't always loud. It's in the subtle glances, the casual touches. Like when she nervously tucked her hair behind her ear after you simply said, "Hey, was that just in your head?" Or something deeper. What you don't realize is, you're likely pulling women towards you without even trying. Here's why it happens. Comment the last time you noticed a woman acting strange around you. If this has ever caught you off guard, drop a below. And stick around, because the fifth reason will change everything. You walk into the room. You're not trying to make a scene. You're not louder than the music. You're not dressed like you're begging for attention. You just exist, calm, unshaken, present. And while you're leaning against the wall, sipping your drink, scanning the room in no hurry, she notices. She glances. Then looks again. You don't smile. You don't wave. You barely even move. And that's exactly why it hits her differently. See, most guys flood the room with noise. They try too hard. They bounce around with nervous energy. They're performing for the room, looking for approval in every glance. But you're different. You're rooted. And that stillness? It's magnetic. Women feel it before they can explain it. That kind of unshakable calm, it disorients them. Because it isn't about arrogance. It's not some flex. It's not even about confidence in the way we're taught to think about it. It's peace. It's self-containment. It's the quiet signal that says, I don't need anything from anyone right now. And ironically, that's what makes them curious. Because most people in that room are trying to pull, trying to grab. But you're just being. No effort, no tension, no chase. And that's what makes her lean in without realizing it. You probably thought you were invisible. But she thinks you're intriguing. She watches you from across the room, wondering, why isn't he trying to be seen? She adjusts her hair, laughs a little louder with her friends, moves slightly in your direction, and still nothing from you. That messes with her, because you're not giving her the one thing most guys throw at her nonstop. Attention. It's the contrast that hits the hardest. You're not cold. You're just whole. And for a woman who's used to being chased, that stillness. That inner gravity, it shakes her in ways she doesn't understand. Did you ever wonder why women stare at the guy who says the least? It's not about mystery. It's about presence. Still, unbothered, like you're already full, and anything that happens next is just extra. So the next time you're in a room full of people trying to be someone, don't adjust. Don't perform. Don't shrink or inflate. Just be still. Just be. Because that kind of energy, that's what turns heads without a word. You're the kind of guy who doesn't chase energy. You create it. And when you do, women feel it like gravity. So here's the move. Next time you're out at a party, in a bar, even just at a casual get-together, try this. Pick a spot, get comfortable, and stay grounded. Breathe deeply. Relax your shoulders. No phone. No scanning. No trying. Just observe. You'll be surprised how many eyes land on you when you finally stop looking for them. Rejection. Just hearing the word tightens your chest a little, doesn't it? Nobody likes it. Nobody wakes up thinking, I can't wait to get rejected today. But here's the twisted truth. Most guys, they crumble under it. They flinch. They chase harder. They explain themselves, trying to reverse it. But the man, who doesn't? The man who smiles, shrugs, and walks away. He leaves her wondering. Picture this. You walk up to her. You're cool, calm. You say something light, maybe just a compliment or a question. She smiles politely, but then those words, I have a boyfriend. That's where most men panic. They feel their stomach drop. Their voice changes. They either get defensive or desperate, as if their entire worth just got shattered in front of her dot, but not you. You just grin. All good. He's a lucky guy. And without missing a beat, you turn, walk away, and move on like nothing happened. You didn't beg. You didn't linger. You didn't even flinch. And you might think, well, that was a failure. Guess she wasn't interested. But here's what's actually happening inside her mind. Wait, why didn't he chase? Why didn't he even pause? She watches you walk away, and that little seed of curiosity starts to bloom, because your reaction told her everything. You're not desperate. You're not seeking validation. You're not playing the same game every other guy plays. You're unfazed. And that emotional composure, that self-respect, it hits harder than any pickup line. Most men crumble. But you're the guy who walks away with his head high and his smile intact. And here's the part that stings for her in the most intriguing way. She just became the one wondering. That's the paradox. You think you lost, but she feels as strange. Pulled toward you. Rejection didn't lower your value. It amplified it. It told her that you're not a man who begs for attention. You are the attention. And most guys, they never figure this out. They keep chasing what they should be walking away from. But you're smarter now. So here's the move. Next time it happens, because it will happen, don't flinch. Smile. Nod. Maybe even throw in a light compliment if it feels right. Then leave. Calm. Unbothered. Complete. Because here's the truth. The man who walks away with grace always walks away with power. You're at a coffee shop. The world around you is buzzing, conversations overlapping, baristas calling names, phones vibrating, but you don't hear any of it. Because you're locked in. Your hands move with purpose. Maybe you're sketching something, fingers smudged with graphite. Maybe you're lost in your laptop, piecing together a project that no one else even understands. And across the room, she's watching. She can't help it. There's something about the way you lean in, eyebrows furrowed just enough, completely absorbed in your own world. The way you pause, then go back to it with even more intensity. You don't notice her, but she notices you. She notices the way you disappear into your passion. And in her mind, that makes you magnetic. Because most guys are desperate for attention. They orbit around women like moths to a flame, constantly trying to pull their focus. Constantly chasing eyes, laughs, validation, but you're chasing something bigger. And that's rare. Women instinctively pick up on it. They feel it in their bones. This quiet pull toward a man who's already in love with something outside of them. And here's the twist most guys miss. It's not about showing off your passion. It's not about flexing your ambition. It's about losing yourself in it. Because passion isn't something you talk about. It's something you become. You think you're just zoning out, doing your thing. But to her, you're electric. She watches you, wondering what's going on inside your mind. Wondering why she suddenly feels this strange pull toward a man who isn't even trying to impress her. That's the power of passion. It tells her everything she needs. To know without a single word that you're driven, that you're focused, that you've got a life that's bigger than small talk and fleeting moments. And in a world full of men looking for external validation, you become the outlier, that you become the mystery. Not because you're trying to be, but because you're too busy becoming something else. That's what draws her in. Have you ever caught her staring when you weren't even paying attention? Now you know why most men think passion makes them weird, makes them isolated. But in reality, that obsession, that fire, that tunnel vision, it's magnetic. Here's what you do. Every day, carve out time for your passion. Whatever it is, business, art, music, fitness, doesn't matter. Block out the world. Lose yourself in it unapologetically. Because when you stop chasing attention and start chasing your craft. Women can't help but wonder what it would feel like to be part of your world. It's strange how it happens. You're sitting there, telling a dumb story, laughing at yourself mid-sentence. It wasn't even that funny. In fact, halfway through, you realize it's probably one of the dumbest stories you've ever told. You burnt your dinner, set off the fire alarm. Your kitchen still smells like smoke. And yet, she's laughing, not just polite laughter. Not the fake, tight-lipped kind women used to escape awkward conversations. Real laughter. The kind that softens her eyes and makes her lean just a little closer. Why? Because you weren't trying to be funny. You weren't crafting some perfect punchline or rehearsing clever lines from a rom-com. You were just amused by yourself. And that changes everything. You see, most men treat humor like a transaction. They think, if I make her laugh, she'll like me. So they try too hard. They chase the laugh. They get nervous if she doesn't instantly giggle. But you're different. You're not laughing for her. You're laughing for yourself. You're already entertained, already enjoying the absurdity of life. And that is intoxicating. Women don't just want to laugh. They want to feel safe. They want to feel like they can relax, drop the mask, and be a little silly without judgment. And nothing creates that emotional safety faster than seeing a man who doesn't take himself too seriously. You think you're being goofy. You think, why would she find this attractive? But here's the truth. Your ability to enjoy yourself, to lean into your own awkwardness, signals something far deeper. It shows you're not afraid of judgment. It shows you don't need her approval to have fun. And that comfort with yourself, it's contagious. Soon, she's laughing too at you, with you, at herself. And in that moment, something shifts. She isn't just laughing. She's bonding. She's letting her guard down. She's feeling seen, not because you're charming her, but because you've invited her into your playful world. You don't need to be clever. You don't need to be smooth. You just need to enjoy yourself. Most men miss this completely, but not you. You're the kind of guy who laughs first and lets others follow. And here's a simple move. In your next conversation, tell a story where you are the joke. Something light, something ridiculous. Laugh at yourself first and watch what happens. Because the man who doesn't take himself too seriously is the man should never forget. It's almost unfair how this works. You spend so much of your life thinking attraction is about effort, about doing more, saying more, staying longer, proving yourself. But the truth? The moment you stop caring is the moment everything changes. Picture this. You're out at a bar with some friends. The night is young. Drinks are flowing and conversations swirl around you. You're talking to her. She's beautiful, smart, magnetic. But instead of clinging to every word, you're calm, easygoing. You're enjoying the interaction, but you're not gripping it tightly. Then, you check your watch. It's getting late. You've got an early morning workout, a project deadline, something bigger waiting for you tomorrow. So, you do what most guys would never dare to do. You smile at her, genuinely, and then you say, "Hey, I've got to bounce. Early start tomorrow." She blinks, a little surprised. You're leaving? Before the night's over? Before you've locked anything in? You stand up, casually shake her hand, maybe lean in for a friendly cheek kiss if it feels right, and then you walk away. No fanfare. No hesitation. And inside your head, you're thinking, did I just blow it? Did I look boring? Too cold? But here's what's happening inside her mind. Wait, what just happened? Why did he leave first? Why isn't he clinging? Why does he feel different? That's the paradox most men never understand. When you stop caring about the outcome, when you stop chasing validation, when you simply live according to your own priorities, you stop becoming the pursuer. and you start becoming the prize. She think about you long after you've gone, because you weren't desperate. You weren't waiting around for scraps of her attention. You were focused on your mission, your peace, your own world. And women feel that energy in their gut. They're wired to chase certainty, that they're magnetized by mystery. And nothing creates more mystery than a man who's already fulfilled without them. Ever noticed how women text you right after you walk away? That "Hey, where'd you go?" message? That sudden Instagram follow? That random snap out of nowhere? It's not an accident, Dodd. It's the result of you breaking the pattern. Most guys overstay. They linger. They suffocate the interaction, trying to squeeze out every drop of attention. But not you. You walked away. Willingly, Dodd, and that's rare. That's what flips the script entirely, Dodd. It's not about playing hard to get, Dodd. It's about being hard to get. Because you've already given yourself to something else. You've already chosen yourself. And that's irresistible. Here's what you do, Dodd, in any interaction. Whether it's a date, a bar, a casual chat, when you feel it start to drag. When you sense that moment where most guys would keep pushing. Leave, Dot, with warmth, with grace. But without apology, Dot, leave, because you've got somewhere better to be, even if that better place is just your own peace of mind, Dot, and watch what happens. Because the man who leaves first becomes the one she can't stop chasing, Dot. It happens in a flash. You lock eyes with her from across the room. Maybe it's at a party, maybe just walking past her on the street. And suddenly, everything else disappears, Dot. The noise fades. The people blur. Time slows down, Dot. It's just you and her. Caught in this electric, silent moment. Your instinct? Look away. Break the tension, Dot. Pretend it didn't happen. Because eye contact real. Eye contact can feel terrifying. But here's the thing no one tells you. That fear, that heat, that uncomfortable tension, it's not just yours. She feels it too. Because holding eye contact isn't just about looking at her. It's about seeing her and letting her see you too. You might think it's awkward. You might think it's too intense. But inside her mind, it's a jolt of electricity, a sudden rush of questions she can't answer. Why does he feel so different? Why can't I look away? Most men don't last more than a second or two. They dart their eyes away the moment it gets too real. They shift nervously, glance at their phone, or laugh it off. But not you. You hold it calm, steady, unbroken, Dot, not in a creepy way, not in an aggressive way. Just grounded, present, unashamed, Dot, and that single act? It changes everything, because in a world of men who can't handle intimacy, you just prove you can. You just showed her that you're not afraid of depth. You're not afraid of connection. You're not afraid of her, and that creates a tension. She'll never forget. You're probably wondering, how long should I hold it? When do I look away? Here's the secret. Hold it 1 second longer than feels comfortable. That's it. That one extra beat? That's where the magic happens. That's where the emotional current flows. You'll feel it when it happens. That little flip in your stomach. That tightening in your chest. The slight widening of her eyes. That's the doorway. Most men fumble here. They panic. They break too soon. But you're the kind of man who stays. Because you understand something most never will. Eye contact isn't just about attraction. It's about power. It's about presence. It's about claiming your space in the moment without words. And here's your move. Next time you catch her glance, don't flinch. Don't force a smile. Don't rush to speak. Just hold it. Let it simmer. Let her feel the weight of your gaze, not as a threat, but as an invitation. Because the man who holds eye contact without fear holds her attention without effort. Here's the truth that almost no one tells you. None of this is about tactics. It's not about tricks. It's not about playing games. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about something far simpler and far more powerful, Dot. About you, Dot. It's about what happens the moment you stop living to attract women and start living for yourself. Dot, picture this. You're walking down the street, headphones in, hands tucked casually into your jacket. The city hums around you, but you're somewhere else, immersed in your own world, your own rhythm. You're not scanning the street for eyes to meet. You're not wondering who's watching. You're simply moving, free, calm, unconcerned. As you pass by, you don't even notice it, but they do. The lingering glances, the double takes, the subtle, curious looks from women who wonder, who is he? Where is he going? Why does he feel so untouchable? You've stopped chasing. You've stopped performing. And that's precisely when they start noticing, because the most magnetic men aren't chasing women. They're chasing life. They're obsessed with their own story, lost in their mission, their growth, their passions. And women? They sense it immediately. They feel that energy before you even say a word. You thought attraction was about pursuing, but the real secret? Attraction has always been about becoming Dot. It's about becoming the man who's so immersed in his own path. He naturally draws others in. And here's what makes this so beautiful. The more you focus inward, the less you need to try. More you expand your life, your purpose, your skills, your peace, the more women become drawn to you as a side effect. Dot. It's not about controlling anyone else. Dot. It's about mastering yourself. Dot. Because when you're full on the inside, you stop looking for others to fill you up. Dot. And that's what makes you magnetic beyond words. Dot. What if the women you're chasing are actually meant to chase you? What if everything you've been seeking externally has been quietly waiting for you to look inward? That's your edge now. Most men will keep running in circles, but not you. You're stepping off that hamster wheel. You're becoming the man who lives first, attracts second, and here's your final move. Focus on self-expansion. Double down on your goals, your peace, your purpose. Let attraction become a byproduct, not the mission. Because the man who doesn't need to chase is the man they'll never stop noticing. The most magnetic men aren't playing games. They're playing life. And now, so are you. Let's run it back fast. Here's what you now know about the hidden behaviors that secretly attract women deeply. Calm, silent confidence. Stop chasing. Start relaxing. Let them wonder. Graceful rejection. Handling. Walk away with a smile. Leave her curious. Passionate focus. Be obsessed with your craft. Lose yourself in it. Playful humor. Laugh at yourself. Invite her into your world. Non-attachment. Leave first. Shit chase later. Bold eye contact. Hold it longer than anyone else. Let it simmer. Remember, most men won't do this. But you're not most men. You're the exception. And now, she knows it too.